Hello, everyone.
Hello and good afternoon.
Hi, Facebook. Welcome into my car. Strap in, put your seatbelt on.
Oh boy.
It's raining out here,
Yeah.
and people drive crazy. Not me. I drive good.
No comments.
But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing a good day. Seems like we're back on track making these videos, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to, work hard and be consistent.
Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about something a little different. Normally we talk about all kinds of things, so today we're going to talk about marriage.
Wow.
And first of all, before we get into talking about marriage, my name is Pablo Marte, and this is my beautiful wife.
Mariceli Malte.
Yes, and we are Power Marriage.
Yes, not because we're there yet, but because we're working towards becoming a power marriage.
That's correct, and every day we're working at it, and we're getting better and better every single day.
Yes.
And hopefully you guys watching out there are doing the same thing. And so today we're going to talk about anger. And anger, when you get angry, or I get angry, definitely, I'll speak from my experiences. I get angry when somebody does something wrong to me.
Yeah.
Right? Someone either steals something from me, somebody lies to me. There's different reasons, right, why somebody would, let's say somebody does an injustice to you in a way, right?
Yeah.
And you feel like, you get angry. That's our natural response. And if we read the Bible, you see that God gets angry.
Yes, it does.
And that's his response to people doing injustice, right? He gives some laws and rules to follow, and people don't follow them, and, he rightfully gets angry. And that's the example we have from the Bible is, it's okay to get angry, right? Somebody does something wrong to us, it's an injustice, we feel, hurt because an injustice has been committed against us. So we're okay to get angry, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been angry?
Yeah, I have been angry. I don't know if you guys saw our previous video. We talked about silent treatment, and that used to get me very angry. I used to get so angry because of his actions, or because he was doing something that would get me upset. And it wasn't that he did something like steal something, or or take something from me, or break something. That's a type of different anger that he was talking about. I'm talking about the one that it's, the moral one. The one where I start sinning because I'm that angry at him.
Yes. So yes, and there you go. How we're going to talk about anger is that anger, again, you have the right to be angry when somebody does an injustice against you. But now there's another type of anger, and that's called, you can specify it as definitive anger, because an injustice has been committed against you, and you might have the right to be angry at that. And now there's the other anger where it's called distorted anger, and that's when, because of somebody else's character traits, right? They haven't done anything wrong against you, but let's just say I would get mad at my wife because of something that she failed to do, or something that she does that is just a character trait that is not, she's not lying, she's not doing anything immoral. It's just who she is. Like, I've made a video before, and it's probably known out there that I got angry when the lint of the dryer was, you clean out the filter, and I normally got a little garbage can right next to the dryer, and it's pink, you can't miss it, and it's a white dryer, so it's a nice contrast. So I grabbed the lint and throw it right into the little trash can, and then the lint, whenever anybody else would use the dryer, they would just clean the filter, which is a good thing, right? You got to do that so that you don't mess up the machine, so the machine doesn't break down. But that lint was left on top of the dryer, and that used to annoy me, and I would get upset, and I would get mad and angry. And that right there is an example of distorted anger, because I don't have the right to be angry at that, or I shouldn't be angry at that. That's not the proper anger.
No, I mean, if there's any type of anger, especially the one that if he offended me or I offended him, then you know what? Then the best way to resolve that anger is actually sit down and talk about that anger. You know, talk about why that made you feel that way, or why that person actually hurt you, you know, in regards to whatever. It could be, like you said, a personality trait, or even his character, or even something like not closing the toothpaste or not putting the toilet seat down. Those type of anger, that actually starts affecting your marriage.
Yes, and that's not proper anger, because it's not definitive anger, because it's not something, it's not an injustice hasn't been committed against you.
Yeah.
And so there, the person wrong is the person that is angry. You know, and also if you perceive that you were wrong, right? Maybe you weren't wrong, but you, and nowadays, you know, I mean, a lot of people talk about this with millennials, I guess, and, you know, the new generation saying that they feel entitled to many things. And so if you don't get what you think you're entitled to, again, what you think you're entitled to, then you're angry.
Wow.
You know, if somebody says something that, you know, you get offended, but maybe you shouldn't get offended.
No.
So again, that's distorted anger. And so it's good to recognize the differences. So when you're angry, like my wife said, just, you know, talk about it. Think also when you're angry, you know, pause. You know, they always say, I don't know if you remember, people always say, right, count to 10. Right? When you get angry, count to 10 before you talk to your kids, or before you deal with the situation, so that you're a little bit more calm. You know, some people had to count to 100, like me. Sometimes I used to have to count to 1,000 so I can calm down.
Wow. For me, I think I just go out and I take a walk, and I will tell him I'm gonna take a walk, because that way it kind of gives me that time frame where, okay, I'm listening to music, I'm praying, and a lot of time I try to open the Bible, so that way, you know what, by reading the word or even submerging myself to God will control that temperament, because it's also a decision you got to make.
Yes.
You could either get upset or try to work on that, you know.
Again, right, so you can get angry. That's what we talked about here, that there's two types of anger. So you can get, anger is a normal human reaction, so you can have anger, but it's just how you respond and how you react with that anger. So, you know, try to think why you're angry. First of all, see if it's definitive anger, if it's the proper anger, or if you are feeling distorted anger, which you shouldn't be angry anyway, and if you are, it's something wrong within you that you need to work on. So yeah, so definitely try to look at those two things.
Yep.
And hopefully this has helped you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.
Yes, please.
Send us a message. And we always like to say in these videos, if you need help in your marriage, you know, there's great books out there. Talk to a pastor, you know, ask around, get help. If you can't do it on your own, you know, and it's okay to get help. We had to get help.
We had to get help. Reach out. It's not something to be ashamed, you know.
Yes.
I think it's better to work than actually destroying your marriage.
Correct. Yes. So definitely send us a message. And we talked with David and Cindy Southworth. We asked them one of the reasons when people actually come to seek marriage coaching and seek help. And normally a couple could be fighting for 6 years or have a problem and wait 6 years, you know, just kind of deal with it, and, you know, and be upset and do the silent treatment for a couple of days, and then, you know, kind of work on it a little, and then they feel a little better, so they're, you know, they feel like they're okay. And anyway, they put it off for 6 years, and then finally when they're ready to call it quits, that's when they, you know, as a last resort, they try to seek help. So if you're not there yet, you know, you feel like, you know, you just want to know a little more, you know, just reach out, talk to somebody. You know, it could definitely help your marriage. It can improve your marriage.
Definitely.
And we're here to help. That's what we like to do. So if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. If you have any comments to us, if you have any questions, send us a private message if you'd rather that way. And we hope to hear from you guys.
Yes, definitely. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.